The Gospel of Gold by G.S. Lewis. Chapter 11. Worker of Miracles. Despite the circumstances of their parting a few days ago, in which Gold had left without a word, Marina and Jinichi seemed delighted to see him again. Likewise, Gold felt his heart lighten at the sight of them. He hurried up to the pair and fought the urge to hug both trainers on the spot. Instead, he stood grinning, happy to see people his own age and from his own hometown, here in the southernmost rural of Johto. "You two sure got here quickly," he remarked, nodding in greeting. "The way through was only cleared a short while ago." Marina and Jinichi gave each other odd looks of surprise, then turned back to Gold. "How did you know that?" Jinichi asked curiously. "I mean, it was. Not when we first arrived on the east side, but then there was this massive flash of light from within the cave." He stopped himself. "Never mind. How did you know?" "Yeah, and why was it blocked up in the first place?" Marina added. "Hey, I asked a question first," Jinichi whined in protest. "But mine would make more sense to answer first," she responded. While they argued, Gold took the opportunity to reclaim his walking stick. When he turned back around, the two were looking expectantly at him again. "Look, he smiled apologetically. "I'm not sure what exactly you guys are expecting to hear, but what I'd have to tell you is probably stranger than anything you're ready for. I wonder if you'd even believe me." Jinichi crossed his arms and regarded Gold seriously. "Try me. After seeing that odd light in Union Cave, I'm open to hearing anything." "No offense, but weirdness has become your thing," Marina added, counting off her fingers. "The story of your rebirth in Burn Tower, running out on your own trainer journey, suddenly changing your name to Gold, that magic you apparently did for those guys in Violet City, which they swear up and down to seeing." She put her hands on her hips. "And now we make it through a cave that was unblocked by a mysterious light, and the first thing we see on the other side is you. Put yourself in my shoes. Whatever the explanation is, don't you think it's time we got to hear it?" Gold considered Marina's words. After a moment or two, he headed toward the pechaberry tree and pulled down 2 of the fruits in each hand. He offered them to his company, which they in turn took tentatively. "This may take a while to tell," said Gold, reaching for another berry of his own. "You'll be glad for a snack in the meantime. Just give me the seeds when you're done." It was well into the afternoon by the time Gold finally finished relaying his experiences to Marina and Jinichi. He told them everything: the dream in which he had met Spirit and been named, the encounter at sea with Silver, his first true look at Spirit after she had rescued him, the 3 campers and his mission to plant seeds in their hearts, his receiving the power of the Life-Giver, the death of Cyndaquil, which he had tried to prevent, the displeasure of Silver and his subsequent attempts to murder Gold, the run-in with Team Rocket after Steelix blew up the cave, and finally, the incident with Kurt at the Slowpoke Well. Occasionally, Jinichi or Marina would interrupt the story. It happened 3 times in total. The first time was when Gold had just started describing Spirit's physical appearance after his rescue at sea. "So, you actually saw her?" asked Jinichi in a breathless whisper. He had been sitting cross-legged on the grass, but now he leaned so far forward that it was necessary for him to support his weight with his hands. "That's what he's saying," said Marina, giving Jinichi a sidelong glare. Gold shared her irritation in the moment. Did Jinichi think he was crazy? Or just leading him on to see how much he would believe? Then his anger softened as he considered the sheer prevalence of deceit that people so regularly used on one another. Hadn't Team Rocket slithered into Azalea Town on the pretext that they were helping clear Union Cave? Hadn't the Johto League lured contestants with a romanticized vision of the journey, only to bait and switch them into a debtor's prison? Even decent folk lied as a cultural cornerstone, tempting their children with promises of a present bringer at Christmas, and threatening them with various stories of boogeymen if they didn't behave. Of course Jinichi would feel a compulsion to question Gold. It was Marina who interrupted the second time. After Gold relayed Spirit's story of Silver and how he had lost his mother to Cypher's shadow project, she made a sympathetic noise in her throat, like the sad whine of a dog. Gold gave her a dubious look. "What was that just now?" he asked. Marina shrugged, her eyes downcast. "I don't know, I can't help feeling a bit sorry for him. Silver started out as just an innocent little Lugia, and it was bad humans who warped him into the thing he's now become." Gold looked up at the sky, which was currently bright and cloudless. He wasn't sure how to feel. After all, Silver had put him through already. Marina's sympathy for the devil roused an unlooked-for sense of pity for his enemy, which surprised him. Nevertheless, he frowned. "Don't let your heart bleed too much," Gold said bitterly. "If Silver had his way, I wouldn't be here right now. He's tried to kill me at least 3 different times this week." Gold was very self-conscious as he spoke these words. The statement was perfectly true, yet on its face, it sounded absurd. Who else would ever claim that a legendary Pokemon was so singularly obsessed with him that it had tried and failed to destroy him on multiple occasions? Beyond absurd, it sounded conceited and delusional. No, he decided as he thought about it. Forget about how it sounds. The important thing is that it's true. Gold's third interruption came, once again, from Jinichi, just as he reached the part where he was returning from Slowpoke Well to Union Cave. As he spoke of the light in the tunnel that had indicated Spirit's approach, Jinichi struck his fist into his other hand. "How unfortunate!" he griped, with all the air of a trainer who had thrown a Pokeball and just missed his target. "To think! We could have seen the legendary Ho-oh herself if the timing had just been a little different." "Unfortunate?" Marina asked, looking over at him with a questioning expression. "You make it sound like a thing of chance. Ho-oh hasn't been seen in centuries, except by the occasional wanderer who catches a glimpse. I think she's deliberately kept herself hidden." "Yeah, well," grumbled Jinichi, looking at Gold. "She's sure gotten comfy with you, at any rate. What did you do to get her attention?" Gold threw up his hands in bewilderment. "I ask myself that every day!" he cried. "God knows what I've done to be chosen, but Spirit is determined to use me for her mission. I still don't know what that is. I mean, not really." Marina tilted her head, her fist tucked under her chin thoughtfully. "There's no endgame to it that you can see?" she pressed. "Just go here and heal people and plant seeds?" Gold shrugged. "Pretty much." He looked down at the seed cores that were now in his hands. "I guess I should go ahead and do that. The ruckus with Kurt and Team Rocket has surely died down by now."